My mom called me sobbing after her eviction, so I emptied my emergency fund to help. A year later, I found out she'd been secretly draining the rest behind my back. Now she's at my door saying I abandoned her. So I guess this is my financial horror story / trust issues origin arc, because what just happened completely fried my brain. Not even trying to be dramatic, I'm literally typing this while sitting in my parked car outside my apartment, because if I go inside, I'll probably throw something. I'm 29, oldest daughter, full-time graphic designer, part-time crisis manager for my whole damn family apparently. I've always been the put-together one, the one with the spreadsheet budget, the savings plan, the emergency fund I never touched except once, to help my mom when she got evicted. She cried on the phone, called me her rock, said she didn't know who else to turn to. I transferred nearly $7,000 that night. Thought it would end there. But then 3 weeks ago I checked my account. It was empty. Not overdraft. Not miscalculated. Emptied. I thought it was fraud. Nope. It was my mom. My actual mother. She used a years-old password I forgot she even had and had been quietly draining my savings like a freaking leech. And when I confronted her, she said, "You weren't using it." Okay, but let me back up for real. I wasn't born rich. I wasn't even born comfortable. My mom raised 3 kids on a retail salary after my dad bailed when I was 9. She played the saint role hard. Everything was a sacrifice. Everything she did was framed as something we should feel indebted for. Like, I skipped dating so you could feel safe. I gave up college to raise you. I haven't bought a new pair of shoes since 2004 because of all your damn school fees. That one, by the way, was a lie. She had 3 new pairs just from last summer. So growing up, I learned early. Don't ask. Don't need. Handle your own **T. I started saving in college. Ramen dinners, thrift clothes, working 2 jobs on top of class. While my sister was getting $400 hair extensions from mom, just because she's having a rough week, I was hustling to afford a new pair of sneakers after mine split in the rain. When I graduated and landed a decent design job, I finally opened my emergency savings account. I called it the Freedom File. Dumb, I know. But to me, it was sacred. It was mine. And I never told a soul. Except for one stupid moment. I was 24, on a trip, and my card got locked while I was stranded at a bus station. Total mess. I had to call my mom to Venmo me cab fare, and to do it, I gave her access to an old Gmail with my backup codes. I meant to change the passwords later. I never did. Fast forward to last year, February. My phone lights up at 11:37 p.m. It's her. 3 missed calls, 2 voicemails, 1 text. Call me. Emergency. I call. She's sobbing, like full hiccup cries. Says the landlord's selling the place. She didn't get the notice in time. Her job cut her hours. Her back is acting up again. She has no one else to turn to. I'm already pulling up my bank app. Before I can even think, I've wired her $6,800. It covers first and last month's rent on a new apartment, plus movers, plus groceries. She says she's shaking, calls me her guardian angel, says she'll pay me back as soon as she can. I tell her it's fine. Don't worry about it. I even drop off a set of mugs and a new kettle at her new place the following weekend. She cries again. Tells me I'm her pride and joy. And for a while, I believe it. The real nightmare starts 11 months later. I'm doing my monthly finance routine, logging receipts, categorizing charges, being my usual boring spreadsheet self, when I notice something weird. My emergency fund is $0. At first, I think it's a glitch. I refresh. Same. I click into transaction history and my stomach drops. 42 transfers. All labeled external, all under $500. Spread out over months. And the destination? A bank account ending in 81. My mom's. My hands start shaking. I'm not even angry yet. Just confused. Terrified. Hoping there's some explanation I'm missing. I call her. She picks up on the second ring, totally casual. Hey, I'm at Target, can I call you back? I say no. I ask about the transfers. There's this pause. Then she says, "Oh, that. I say, "You've been taking money from my savings?" She says, "You weren't using it." I go silent. Not because I'm speechless, because if I speak, I'll scream. She fills the gap. Look, I needed help. You always say you want to support the family, right? Well, this is support. I say, "You stole from me." She laughs. Don't be dramatic. I'm your mother. It's not like I'm a stranger on the street. You should be grateful I didn't go into credit card debt instead. I hang up. I sit on my bathroom floor and sob like I haven't since college. Like ugly crying, shaking, gasping, trying to keep my dog from licking my face, kind of sobbing. The next day she texts me. You're overreacting. I raised you. I've done way more for you than this. Can we not make it a federal case? Then later. I don't want this to ruin us. Family is more important than money. Then silence. Until 2 days later when my sister posts on Instagram. A haul video. New clothes. New makeup. Designer shoes. Caption says, Mom's treat to hearts, she said I deserve to feel pretty again. I watch the video 3 times. I zoom in on the tags. Calculate the prices. $1,200 minimum. And then I text my mom. Was that from my savings too? No reply. I didn't sleep that night. I just lay there staring at the ceiling like, how the hell do you come back from this? How do you ever trust someone again after they look you in the face and say, you weren't using it about the money that kept you alive? Next morning, I took screenshots of everything, the transfers, the routing number, the texts. Sent it all to a lawyer my friend recommended. He called me back and gently explained I didn't have a case. I had voluntarily given her access once. It wasn't hacking. It wasn't fraud. He said, you could try small claims court, but it'll be your word against hers. And it'll destroy your family. My family was already destroyed. The part that really messed me up? I still kept hoping for some kind of apology. Like maybe she panicked. Maybe she'd call and break down. Say it was wrong. Say she was ashamed. But instead, she went full victim. 2 days later, my uncle texted me out of nowhere, just checking in. Your mom said you're going through something? My cousin called too. I heard you're mad at your mom for helping your sister. It hit me like a truck. She'd flipped the whole narrative. Told everyone I was having a breakdown over money. That I'd accused her of stealing just because she was helping out my baby sister. She even told them I refused to talk to her, as if she hadn't been the one gaslighting me into silence. I posted one Instagram story. No context. Just a black screen and the words. If your mom steals from you and tells everyone you're the problem, no you didn't. Protect your peace. Within an hour, she texted me. Wow. Really? Airing family drama online? I raised you better. I didn't answer. But it wasn't over. A week later, she showed up at my apartment. I hadn't told her my new address. Turns out she got it from my aunt, who just thought she missed you. I came home to find her sitting on the stairs, makeup smeared, holding a Tupperware of soup like some sad movie character. She stood up as soon as she saw me. Sweetheart, please. I'm begging you. I'm losing everything. I told her to leave. She grabbed my hand. Just listen to me. I pulled away. Said, you stole from me. You manipulated everyone. And now you're using tears like a weapon. Go home. She stepped back. Stared at me like she didn't recognize me. You sound just like your father. That one line? That broke something. Back inside, I broke down for real. Like I didn't even make it to my bed. Just collapsed in the hallway and sobbed so hard my neighbor knocked to check on me. I didn't answer. I couldn't. Because here's the truth I didn't want to admit. I still wanted her to love me. Some part of me still believed I could fix it. But then, 3 days later, I got an alert. A $75 charge at Sephora. From my backup credit card. I'd forgotten she had the info saved from years ago, a time I let her order something for a wedding gift. I opened the transaction list. 2 more charges. She was still using me. That night, I changed every password. Every PIN. I canceled the card. I locked my credit. I nuked the entire digital trail of my life. And then? I texted my mom. You're no longer allowed in my life. You used me, lied to me, and continue to take from me. This is not love. This is not family. I don't care what story you spin. Do not contact me again. No response. But my cousin posted a meme later that night. People forget who raised them once they start making money woman shrugging. Subtle. I didn't block her immediately. I should have. Every instinct in me screamed to cut the cord. But part of me, the same part that used to save the biggest slice of cake for her, that memorized her moods before dinner just to keep peace, still wanted to believe she could fix this. But she didn't. Instead, she started a campaign. First it was texts from cousins. Your mom's a mess. She hasn't stopped crying. She said you froze her out over money? Seriously? Then my aunt posted a passive-aggressive Facebook status about children who forget their roots once they buy nice things. And then my sister DM'd me something that made my stomach flip. Ick what mom did, but this is literally killing her. Maybe just talk to her like an adult instead of punishing her. I didn't reply. Because I'd already tried that. I had talked. I'd laid everything out. And the only response I got was silence, blame, and stolen money. A week later, it escalated. I got a call from my work's HR department. Someone had left a voicemail claiming I was under severe emotional distress, possibly unstable, and suggested they do a wellness check. They played the voicemail for me. It was my mom. I sat there in that office chair, staring at the floor, heat crawling up my neck. Not from shame, from rage. Because that's when it hit me. She didn't just want forgiveness. She wanted control back. I called my lawyer again, asked if it counted as harassment. He said no, but if it continued, I could file a restraining order. The words felt nuclear, like something reserved for violent exes, not moms. But then I remembered the empty bank account, the Instagram haul, the credit card charge, the voicemail, and suddenly it didn't feel extreme at all. I started preparing to move, not just out of my apartment, out of her orbit. New number, new email, new passwords. I removed every relative from my social media, archived everything. It was like erasing my digital fingerprints. And yet, every time I paused, I'd hear her voice again. You weren't using it. Like I was some forgotten cupboard she could ransack at will. And then came the final straw. My birthday. I didn't want a party. I told my friends I'd do dinner later. But that morning, there was a knock at my door. I froze. Didn't open it. The knocking continued. And then I heard it, her voice. Through the door. Soft, rehearsed. I brought you something. Just open the door, baby. My body went cold. I didn't move. Please. It's just soup. You love my soup. I made the one with ginger and noodles. You used to say it healed everything. I bit the inside of my cheek until it bled. Then silence. Then, do you really hate me that much? I wanted to scream. Instead, I walked to the kitchen, turned on the faucet, and waited until I heard her footsteps retreat. Later, I opened the door. The Tupperware was there. No note. Just that stupid plastic container that used to mean comfort. I threw it straight in the trash. I didn't even look inside. The following week, I filed the paperwork, identity theft alert, account freezes, new phone number, legal statement of non-contact. And then I finally blocked her. Phone, email, social, all of it. 2 months later, I moved. My new apartment is small but safe. Nobody knows the address except my closest 3 friends. I don't have to flinch when I hear a knock. I don't have to wonder who's trying to make me doubt myself today. The last time I saw her, she was standing across the street from my office, pretending to window shop. I didn't wave, didn't run, didn't hide. I just stared right at her until she looked away, like a stranger. So, it's been 6 months. 6 entire months since I moved, blocked her, nuked every account, and told myself I was done being the good daughter. I haven't seen her face. Haven't heard her voice. No texts, no emails, no surprise drive-bys. I let myself believe it was over. That maybe, finally, silence meant surrender. It didn't. It started with an email. Subject line. Restoring the mother-daughter bond, referred by LM. I stared at it for a solid minute. LM, her initials. My stomach did that thing where it curls before your brain fully processes what's happening. The sender? Not a therapist. Not a legal rep. Not even someone in my world. It was a family relationship coach. I opened the message and immediately regretted it. This woman wrote like she knew me. Like we were on the same side. Said she'd been working with your mother weekly and wanted to invite you into a structured space for reconnection. Said my mom had reflected deeply and was ready to take accountability and wanted to begin the healing journey if I was willing to. Meet her in vulnerability. It felt like getting a customer service email about your own trauma. I didn't reply. Instead, I did what any normal, unhealed millennial would do. I Googled the hell out of her. She wasn't licensed. No degrees. No credentials. Just a blog and some pastel Canva graphics about reuniting fractured families. And on her site, there it was. A testimonial from my mom. I froze. It read, I believe reconciliation is possible, even when your own daughter demonizes you online and refuses to speak to you like a human being. My full name was on the page. Full name. First and last. Visible to anyone who clicked. I felt my pulse spike. Grabbed my laptop, opened a doc, and typed the sharpest, cleanest cease and desist message of my life. I sent it. 15 minutes later, she responded. Thank you for your message. I have removed your name and will not contact you again. I wish you peace. Cool. I thought that would be it. I was wrong. 2 days later, I got a text from an unknown number. Your mom has been trying so hard. She talks about you constantly. You were her light. Why are you doing this to her? I blocked the number. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept staring at the ceiling thinking, how many people has she pulled into this? How many strangers think I'm the villain? I went back and scrolled through her Facebook, using a burner account because, yes, I've learned. She changed her profile photo to one of us from 10 years ago. The caption? Miss her more than words can say. But some wounds take time. Broken heart # motherhood is hard. The comments were a mix of clueless friends and weaponized sympathy. She'll come back one day. You raised such a beautiful soul. She's just lost right now. Sending you both healing energy. She's lucky to have you, even if she doesn't realize it yet. I wanted to scream. And then came the landlord call. My old landlord, from the apartment I left 6 months ago, called me out of nowhere. Said someone had been leaving envelopes in the mailbox for Unit 3C, addressed to me. Handwritten. He said he opened the latest one, just to check, and that I should probably come pick it up. He sounded nervous, so I drove over. He handed me a thick manila envelope, 4 sheets of lined notebook paper, both sides filled, tight cursive, no paragraph breaks, no margin space, just unfiltered, obsessive noise. I didn't read it there. I waited till I got home, sat on the floor, took a deep breath, and started. I didn't realize you were capable of this level of cruelty. I did what I had to do. I took care of you. Who took care of me? You used to love my soup. I didn't think you'd become this cold. You OWE me. You wouldn't even be here without me. I see now you've been poisoned by therapy. I had to take that money. I was drowning. I lost everything and you're still punishing me. How do you sleep at night? I gave you your name. I can take it back. That last line? I gave you your name. I can take it back. That was the moment I knew she was done pretending. This wasn't about reconciliation. This was war. I barely slept that night. I kept imagining her standing outside my old apartment, sitting in her car, furiously scribbling those pages like some obsessed romantic. I pictured her folding each sheet, sealing the envelope, walking across the parking lot, and slipping it into the mailbox like it was a secret she needed to plant. And somewhere in that spiral of mental images, I stopped feeling scared. I got angry. The next morning, I met with my lawyer. In person. I handed him the envelope, let him read the part about, I gave you your name, I can take it back, told him about the fake mediator, the bizarre reconciliation campaign, the texts. He took notes, calm and clinical, then looked me in the eye and said, you have grounds for a protective order. And maybe even for defamation, depending on what she's been saying publicly. My stomach twisted. Not because I didn't want justice, but because it meant turning this into something permanent. It meant saying, out loud and in court, she's a threat to me. But I nodded. I was done hoping. 3 days later, my cousin, the only one who never played sides, called me. She didn't waste time. You should know. Your mom's been telling people you're unstable. She said you're in some kind of cult. That your therapist brainwashed you. And the worst part? People believed her. Not everyone, but enough. One of my aunts called my workplace with a concern. Someone tagged me in a vague TikTok rant about daughters who blame their moms for everything and call it trauma. It was like being gaslit by a whole audience. And still, I didn't back down. I started documenting everything. Screenshots, emails, voicemails. My lawyer helped me build a full timeline. And then I did something I never thought I'd do. I posted. No names, no photos, no receipts. Just a long thread about financial abuse, stolen savings, emotional manipulation, weaponized guilt. About how some parents can't stand losing control, and how their adult kids end up the villains in their redemption stories. It went viral. Thousands of retweets. Dozens of DMs. This is my mom. I thought I was alone. I've never told anyone, but this is exactly my life. I was shaking when I hit post. But then I read the replies. And I stopped shaking. Of course, she found it. She made a burner account and commented under the thread. I did everything for you. This is how you repay me. Then, don't believe her. She's rewriting history. Then finally, she's mentally ill. Don't listen. That was the last one. My followers drowned her out. Reported the account. It got nuked in less than an hour. But the truth? It was already out there. A week later, the court date came. She didn't show. Didn't contest anything. The judge read our file and granted the order. 1 year. No contact. No letters. No phone calls. No third parties. And my lawyer told me we can extend it later. Maybe even make it permanent. Now I sleep without double-checking the locks. I deleted my burner account. I go to brunch and laugh like I mean it. When people ask about my mother, I just say she lives in the past. I don't. It's been 9 months since the protective order was granted. 9 months of peace, of quiet, of slowly stitching myself back together. I moved. I healed. I stopped checking shadows for her face. I even started thinking I might finally be free. And then came the funeral. My cousin texted from a number I didn't recognize. Call me. It's about Grandma. I hadn't spoken to anyone on my mom's side in almost a year, but the moment I saw the name, my chest tightened. She had passed. The funeral was in 3 days. And guess who was organizing it? My mom. I told my cousin I wouldn't be coming. She hesitated and said, "Well, she's already told people you're going to speak." I was stunned. Speak? Apparently, my mom had told the entire family that we had reconciled, that we'd been healing privately, and the funeral would be our symbolic reunion. She even claimed I'd written a tribute speech. It felt like some warped PR stunt. Like she'd hijacked a family death to stage a comeback tour. I didn't even argue. I just booked a flight, not to attend the funeral, but to leave the state the day before it happened. But it didn't end there. 2 weeks later, I got a call from HR. Again. This time, it wasn't about wellness checks. It was about a formal complaint sent to my employer from a fake email address claiming to be a former friend. The email accused me of workplace bullying, financial theft, and said I was mentally unstable due to unresolved family trauma. We traced the IP. It was hers. My lawyer immediately filed for an extension of the protective order. We submitted the fake complaint, the funeral manipulation, the social media smears. The judge granted another full year, this time with stricter digital restrictions. I didn't feel relieved. I felt poisoned. And then came the worst part. An old college professor messaged me on LinkedIn. Very polite. Very casual. But one sentence nearly made me vomit. "Your mother reached out asking if I'd write something to support her GoFundMe. She said you might back her up." GoFundMe? I found it in minutes. It was titled A Mother Rebuilding. In the description, she called herself a single mother abandoned by a daughter poisoned by therapy, said she was being digitally defamed, and was seeking support to heal and rise with dignity. She used my name, posted old childhood photos of us, quoted from my teenage journals, things I had written in private, things she had no right to weaponize. That was it. The mask was off. She wasn't trying to reconnect. She was trying to profit off me. So I made a choice. No more silence. No more giving her space to rewrite history. I drafted one email and sent it to every relative, family friend, church person, neighbor, anyone I knew she had reached. The subject line was simple: the truth. I attached PDFs of the court orders, screenshots, the GoFundMe, a breakdown of the money she stole, the HR report, the letter she left in my old mailbox. I didn't explain. I didn't ask for validation. I just wrote, "Since my mother has chosen to involve you in our story, here are the facts." Some never replied. Some quietly unfollowed her. One aunt called me crying. But the best part? The GoFundMe went dark. She deleted it. Her Facebook vanished. The burner account stopped. Silence, actual silence, returned. So I didn't think there would be an update 3. I truly thought she was gone. That she finally ran out of lies, or audience, or energy. A whole year passed. My protective order expired, but I didn't renew it. Not because I trusted her, but because I didn't care anymore. She could scream into the void all she wanted. I wasn't listening. And then last month, my brother called. Not a cousin. Not an aunt. My actual brother. He and I had stayed civil. We weren't close, but he never took sides. Never defended her. Never gaslit me. Mostly we just existed on opposite ends of the trauma spectrum. He left a voicemail. "Hey, I know we haven't talked much, but she's not doing well. And I don't mean her usual drama. It's bad. She's in the hospital. She asked for you." I froze. I didn't call back. I just sat with it. For hours. Then I called my therapist. She asked, "What would going there do for you?" And I said, "Nothing." So I didn't go. 3 days later, I got a letter. Not handwritten, typed. Neatly formatted. It was from her. "No, I'm sorry. No, I was wrong. Just. I forgive you for how you've treated me. I understand you're on your own path. I pray one day you'll come home." She'd found a way to reframe my silence as her mercy. My brother texted the next day. "Did you get the letter?" "She's trying." I said, "She's manipulating." He didn't respond. Then came the final straw. My birthday. A bouquet arrived at my office. No card. Just white roses. I knew instantly. That night, a friend posted a photo of us, cake, candles, laughter. An hour later, I got an anonymous comment on my blog. "So glad to see you smiling again. God gives second chances. Hope you give your mother one." That was it. That was the moment I stopped being sad. I called a lawyer and updated my legal protections. I emailed my building manager and gave them a photo of her face. I finally changed my last name legally, officially, forever. No hyphen, no trace of hers. I deleted the last saved voicemail. I burned the old journals. And I made a new password for everything, one she could never guess. Final lines. She tried everything. Guilt, lies, religion, illness, family, pity, all the old spells. None of them worked. I used to want peace. Now, I want distance. And that's exactly what I have. Forever.